Every good training program is composed of four different main components: reps, sets, rests, and intensity. The first one, reps, is going to depend on what your training programming goal is. If you're looking to build more strength, then you're going to have far fewer reps where you're more maximizing the amount of weight that you can lift to build your strength. If you're trying to build more muscular endurance, then maybe you might have a higher number of reps, like 15 or 20, so that you're able to lift weights for longer periods of time. And if you're looking to build muscle, your reps may actually range all the way from the top to the bottom, depending on also what your goals are and where you're at in your training programming. For someone that has been training for a much longer period of time, might have more sets than somebody else. So if you see four sets in your program, you're likely someone that needs more training volume. You need to lift weights multiple times, much more, and provide more load on the muscle in order to see a beneficial outcome. If you only see two sets, then maybe you're somebody that is not yet ready for three or four sets, or you just don't need to train that muscle group as hard as you would other muscle groups. And so the number of sets that you have in your programming determine how much volume you're doing on that muscle to get a result and to make progress. Now, when you look at the rest between each of these sets, it again is going to be determined by what your goals are. If you see a very small rest period, then either you're working two completely different muscle groups and you don't really need a break between them. And for cardiovascular aspect, and not having any rest in between it is going to be good for heart health. Or if you're trying to build muscular endurance where you're able to train for longer periods of time with shorter rests, then you're going to have shorter rests in your break periods. Now, if you're trying to maximize your strength, though, you're going to want a very long rest period, maybe even up to 3 or 5 minutes to maximize what you can possibly lift for every set that you do. And so, as you can see, each individual factor of your programming has a very intentional purpose behind it. Now, intensity is something that you may or may not see in your program, just depends on how strict your program is. If you're someone that's really just trying to build the habit of exercise right now, and maybe you're not the most consistent, then the intensity may not be there. But if you're someone that's religiously there 4 or 5 days a week, and you need some days to be more intense than others to give yourself a break, then you may see some days are telling you to be at 100 or 90% intensity for certain lifts. Other lifts may tell you to be at 70 or 80% intensity. And on recovery days, you may see something like 50 to maybe 60%, and telling you that you don't need to push yourself this day. Take it as an active but lighter day out of your week. And so each of these programming aspects are going to help create an entire training program to move you in the right direction. And again, each of them are really going to vary and differ based on what your goals are, where you're at in your training program, and who you are and what you're capable of doing.